I'll take you live to the Ashanti region, where we know that police have stepped up efforts still on security-related concerns to deal with robberies in the area. So it comes in the wake of a string of robberies targeting persons who have just withdrawn cash from banks in various parts of the country. We've recorded in Cape Coast and, of course, in the capital as well. The most recent happened on Wednesday when armed men entered the Atonsu branch of the Danse Rural Bank in Kumasi and killed a private security man on duty. Erastus Asare has been speaking to some of these bank customers who say they are a bit apprehensive about doing business in the banks.
I think the insecurity in this country, it's not allowing, we the bankers, we save money in the bank, we're not comfortable nowadays because when you go to the bank, because of the cyber insecurity, people will be following around, maybe tracing you with their mobile phones and any other technology devices, So nowadays, it's very, very insecure. When I walk to the bank like this, sometimes I even turn around, look back because I'm afraid,
Because of the situation that is happening at the bank, for me per se, I have a mobile banking system. So I don't usually go to the bank, but I can just stay in my comfort at my own room just to take money from the mobile banking. Then from there I can go to the mobile money vendors. Then I can just withdraw the money from them.
We know the current state of the people we have in our country, the demographic we have in our country. A lot of them are not so educated for you to champion a lot of mobile banking, and then up to now we still have a lot of them even saving in microfinances and not actual banks. So to be fair to everybody, I think the government would rather have a lot of responsibility in ensuring that citizens are very safe. The banks as well can do something on their part, I think, to check cyber security.
Going to the ATM, when you are going to the ATM to withdraw a huge sums of money, at least you have to let someone to accompany you, a trusted person to accompany you to the ATM bank. Who knows, maybe there are some people tracking you. With the help of the one assisting you, you can get yourself out from the arms of the armed robbers.
Personally, I don't feel safe. And then I think the banks should do more to protect ourselves. Like they should install CCTV cameras, or they can also advise the government to use the digital system whereby we use something like a mobile money to do our transaction. I think that one will be safe.
Well, some residents of the Ashanti region, they're interacting with my colleague Erastus Asare. Thankfully, he joins us on the line. Erastus, we'll talk about these residents and what exactly they would want done, because you spoke to more of them. But first, I would want to find out if we have the very latest on this Atonsu situation. Has the police provided any briefing in terms of what their preliminary findings are?
Well, so there have been no arrests so far. I'm in touch with the police, and currently they are now crossing the T's, dotting the I's, getting any link to this particular. As the police indicates that per their preliminary findings, there was money in the bank. For example, there was money in some of the desks as well, but the assailants did not pick those amounts of money. They only left the banking hall with a laptop and a flat screen TV, and then they smashed part of the ATM machine outside. The police have cause to believe that this might be a decoy in trying to sway investigations into thinking that perhaps this is a robbery, that in fact there might be some ulterior motives behind it. And so now they are opening and extending their investigations to cover every aspect of his life. And I can understand from today in my interaction with my sources that they are now getting to speak with family members, get more information about this gentleman, and get to know what might have triggered this, who engaged in this, and then they narrow down on possible suspects. So that is what we have for now. But for now, there have been no arrests.
Okay. Well, but because of this particular development, your interaction with residents revealed that residents are a bit apprehensive because of this particular incident in terms of doing business in the banks. Do we know what exactly they would want done to make them more comfortable?
In fact, when I speak with some of one guy, for instance, tells me that they will want to see different strategies, because with the old strategy that has been adopted in providing security at the various banks, you see an armed police officer or a private security person with no gun sitting in front of the bank. They think that it should be extended, that we have two, for instance, armed police officers, one in plain clothes, perhaps sitting at a vantage point somewhere at the premises of the bank, and with one stationed specifically at the bank, armed, so that the other one will be observing from afar. If there's an attack, he can provide a backup for this particular person. They believe such a strategy, or a change in strategy from the normal way of providing security at the various banks, will help. There are others who have resorted to mobile money services, because they believe that sending money to the bank or withdrawing money from the bank is now a very risky business. But still, people are still transacting business in the various banks that we speak of, but with little apprehension that somebody might be tracking them. And so people are more vigilant these days to that threat, as you speak.
So that's my colleague Erastus Asari-Donko there, bringing us the situation in the Ashanti region. As we've been hearing from banking consultants, it's still safe to do banking, to do business with banks, just that you have to take your personal security into your own hands. The banks are also encouraging that you rather resort to cashless transactions. You can use your mobile apps amongst others, and make sure that you do not carry huge sums of money on you, and monitor the kinds of conversations that you have. That little tip for you in terms of banking. And we'll take a quick break at this point here on The Pulse. We're right back.